community. Thank you so much for being here today. If we have not had the chance to meet at my own yoga, my name is Danika and I am thrilled to be practicing with you. If we have had the chance to meet, welcome back. Again, glad to see you here. I hope the spring weather has brought a sense of nourishment or refreshment to everybody. With the new weather, the new environment, we often can find ourselves feeling a little bit more revived, reawakened after that winter hibernation, and motivated to move or just to start doing some new things, right? I know that we've had a little bit of a lockdown, a little bit of a different kind of world happening lately, and we've been spending more time at home, perhaps on the computer or the cell phone or even watching TV, and it tends to be our posture that suffers in this case. So we start to round through the shoulders or slouch through the back and get that forward head movement. And really this class is going to target these areas and try to counter all of those movements. We're going to be looking at opening up the body, really awakening through the sides, twisting, wringing out any tension that might have built up throughout this time. Of course, throughout the practice, if something does not feel right in your body, skip that pose, don't do it. You're welcome to slowly ease in and try it a second time, but again, if it's not feeling right, skip it altogether. It doesn't mean it's not your pose today or tomorrow. Tomorrow, or it might not be your pose today, but it will be your pose maybe tomorrow or the next day, right? Our bodies are just constantly changing. And it's really about the practice of listening to your body and listening to all the messages that it sends you throughout the practice, right? We're constantly communicating through our body. So listen and then practice accordingly. Really, the bottom line is that it's meant to feel good. So allow your breath to constantly flow and just tune in and become aware of how you are feeling on all levels, mentally, physically, and try to let this practice really benefit your body and mind. So that being said, we are going to start our practice lying down on our backs. And so we'll let our feet come toward the top of our mat. Lay yourself down. And just take a moment here. You can let your legs extend long or your feet to root. Arms might come alongside your body, palms up toward the ceiling. Starting to draw a deep breath in through your nose, and then releasing out through your nose or mouth. Allow these exhales to be a surrender of the body where you can soften. Let your muscles drop down into your mat. Maybe already starting to gauge how the body feels in this position. And then from here, we'll gently begin to draw the knees in towards the chest. And we'll keep the knees together, moving them in a circular rotation. So just starting to press down areas around the tailbone, feeling the low sacrum, the low back, a little bit of a massage through our back body. Once you come back through to center, let's switch directions, rotating your knees the opposite way. Already check in with your breath and notice if it's changed at all. Can you keep it smooth? Can you find a rhythm where your breath seems to be in sync with your body movement? The next time that you come through to center, take a moment to pause and feel the hips root through the back. We'll let our right arm come off to the side, nice and wide T position. And then let your knees drop down toward the left side. Nice. So we're coming into a bit of a twist here. And right away, we will bring that right hand across so that it stacks on top of our left palm. Now from here, start to inhale and reach that right palm forward off of your left hand and just sweep your fingertips along the floor overhead as you open up through the chest. On your exhale, we'll bring that right hand again across the body. And then reaching, inhale, fingertips grazing the floor. Opening up through the chest, feeling the thoracic spine awaken. Exhale, bringing that arm across. We'll open up one more time. Inhaling. Eyes can follow the fingertips if you'd like, ending up looking over toward that right hand. And on an exhale, bringing that hand right on top of the left. Good. From here, we'll start to prop our heads up using the left arm and forearm. Hand can be underneath your head. Now, our bottom leg, our left leg, is going to come behind us. Can you reach back for that foot or ankle with your right hand? We're looking for a stretch in our left thigh. And now this right knee, it can come down and drop into the mat. If you're looking for a deeper stretch, you're welcome to roll onto your abdomen, letting your forearm drop and your forehead melt onto your arm. Now, the more that you hike this right knee up higher toward your right shoulder, the deeper you might feel the stretch in your left thigh and psoas. Bringing that left foot toward your glute as much as you can, as much as feels right. Again, we're just warming up the body, so be easy and gentle with yourself. One more breath here. And then we can slowly release and let go of that leg. Arm can come up overhead, rolling back onto your back body. Arms will find that T position again. Knees pull in. This time we drop them over to the right side, letting that left arm drop on top of our right hand. Now on an inhale, again, reaching your palm past your right fingertips. And as you're on the ground, sweep your arms overhead, opening up through the chest. Good. On your exhale, then sweep that arm across. Inhale, overhead. Maybe the eyes follow the fingertips and we open up. Exhale, the arm comes across. One more time. Inhaling, open up. And exhale. Staying. Good. Bring that arm across. And you're going to find that same movement. So I'll show you from the back. You're going to prop yourself up onto your right hand, elbow roots. Now the bottom leg, right leg, is coming toward your right glute, gently drawing it back with that left hand. My left leg may drop toward the mat. And if I'm feeling okay here, it's a nice stretch, but I want a little bit more, I can roll onto my abdomen. Let the inside of that left knee drop into the mat. Forehead can melt into your arm. And breathing into that right thigh. Good. Last breath here. Wonderful. Releasing that back, come onto your side. We're going to use our arms to assist us and press our way up into a tabletop. So in tabletop, let your hands be shoulder width apart, your knees hip distance apart. Allow the tailbone to start lifting, dropping the belly and shining the heart and gaze forward. On an exhale, rounding through the spine, tuck the tailbone, pull the navel toward your spine, chin can tuck in. Inhale, opening up. And exhale to round. One more time. Inhale, dropping the belly, Shoulder blades drop onto the back. And then exhale. Belly pulls in, pushing through the arms. Gaze between the knees. Good. Inhale, coming to that neutral spine. This time we'll send our right leg back behind us, reaching through the heel. On an exhale, let's draw the knee in towards our nose, and then inhale, send it back. Exhale, pulling in. Inhale, find that length. Toes point toward the mat. Exhale, rounding in. Inhale, find that length. Now you're welcome to use your right hand to assist that leg, stepping through in between your hands. We'll come up, arms reaching overhead. And now that left knee, you're acting like you're trying to drag it forward, right? Try to pull the belly in, that slight tuck of the tailbone happening, and you're feeling that left psoas open up, right? Your hip flexor is finding length. Now, as we do this, we'll bring our left hand down onto that left thigh. Try to press your left hand into your thigh, and again, pull that thigh forward into your hand. So a bit of work here. Breathing in, and then exhale, release. Let's do that again. Inhale, drag that left knee forward, press your hand into your thigh, and exhale to soften. Good, one more time. Find that engagement. And on an exhale, releasing that engagement. Good. We'll bring our right hand to the inside of that right knee. Left arm comes up overhead. Again, draw up through the belly, pulling the navel toward the spine. On an exhale, find this side bend. Again, we now feel this throughout the psoas, perhaps throughout the side body. Keep pressing that front right hand into your inner knee and the inner knee into that hand, creating a bit of resistance there. Good, let's inhale, come right back up through to center, and exhale, dropping your left hand down to the mat. We turn into that front right knee, gazing towards that upper hand if it's comfortable. Now you're welcome to stay here on your back knee or tuck your toes under and lift your knee off of the mat. Find your breath, trying to reach up through the right fingertips and drawing up out of that left shoulder, avoiding collapsing into the shoulders. And when you're ready, exhaling, bring that hand back down to the mat. We'll drop the knee to the mat and send that right leg back. Beautiful. Now from here, let's shift our body forward. Tucking the elbows in, we'll lower down onto our belly. A baby cobra pose. Inhale, lifting your head and shoulders, peeling them off the mat. Gaze is down toward your mat. Exhale, releasing down. Inhale, find that lift if you'd like. Maybe the hands hover off the floor. Still squeezing the elbows in. Engage through the back body, right? This is the area that tends to weaken when we're slouching and rounding forward. Exhale to release down. One more time. Inhale, find that lift. Hands can come to hover. Breathing here. Last breath here. Good. Exhaling, releasing down to the mat. Inhale, let's press up back onto our knees. And exhale, find this sense of stability as you draw through the core. Let's send that left leg then back behind us, reaching through the heel. Exhale, drawing your knee into your nose. Inhale, find that length. Exhale, rounding. Knee pulls in. One more time. Reaching long. Exhale, rounding in. Wonderful. Now as we send the leg back, we're welcome to use our left hand, assist with that leg stepping through, coming into our low lunge pose. Arms reach up overhead. Once again, I'm just going to face you. So now with that right leg forward, our left leg forward, right hand is going to press into that thigh while the left arm is up overhead. So we're dragging or acting like we're trying to drag that right knee forward, tucking the tailbone, pulling the belly in, pressing your right hand into that thigh, breathing in, and on an exhale, just softening. Good, again, inhale, pressing into the thigh, drag the thigh forward, reaching up. Exhale to release. One more time. Inhale, find that length. And exhale to soften. Good, inhale, right arm lifts. Left arm comes to the inside of that front knee. Knee will press into that hand. As you exhale, come into that side bend. Try to keep all that engagement, that back knee, trying to drag forward. Belly pulling in. Hand pressing into that front knee and the inner knee, pressing into that hand. Good, let's inhale, come right back up through to center. And on an exhale, dropping that right hand, left arm reaches toward the ceiling. We've turned into that front thigh. Again, if you'd like, you can curl the back toes under and lift your knee off of the mat. And in this pose, we again have the psoas opening up through the right side, but as well as our left hamstring starting to open and lengthen. Reaching out of that right shoulder, try not to collapse into it, let your neck be long. Last breath here. Keep reaching that heel behind you. Good. Exhale, we'll drop our hand down to the mat. Drop your knee, stepping back into our tabletop. This time we'll inhale as we shift forward and exhale, lowering down onto our abdomens, elbows squeeze into your low ribs. Intimidation cobra. We bring the hands forward, tenting through the fingertips. Inhale, lifting your head and shoulders. And then exhale, releasing down. Inhale, lifting. And this time, let's drop our right shoulder to center as we look over our left shoulder and lower. Inhale, up to center. And exhale, drop that left shoulder, look over your right. And inhale, come up through to center. Maybe pushing up a little bit higher. And exhale, releasing down. Hands will come down to the low ribs. Inhale as you press up and back to your tabletop. We'll find our first downward dog today, tucking the toes under and sending our knees just an inch off the mat and then our hips backwards. Start to straighten the legs, dropping the heels toward the mat. Whether they touch the mat or not is irrelevant. You can focus for a moment on the hamstrings opening up. So if you'd like, you can pedal through the heels, dropping one heel toward the mat and then the other. A little bit of a hip sway through the body, pedaling through the feet, the toes open up. And letting your entire body be fairly active here. So pressing each finger pad down into the mat, pushing through the arms. Let your head just drop heavy, looking between your feet. And if you've been moving, maybe you come to a moment of stillness. Try to draw the belly in so you're lifting your abdomen off of your thighs, but then shining your heart toward the thighs.
One more breath here. Feel free to gently bend the knees to lift your tailbone even higher and think about spinal elongation, being nice and long. Good. From here, let's look towards our hands. Start to walk your feet forward. Bend the knees as much as you need or lift your hands off the mat. Inhale, we'll slide our hands up our shins, looking forward. Now bend your knees a little bit so that, again, we're focusing on the back being straight and long. Try to avoid that round we often see. So if you're really rounding, almost act like you want to arch your back, and often you come to that point where you're just neutral and straight. On an exhale, let's fold over the legs, and we'll find that halfway lift again. Inhale, hands slide up the shins, looking forward, long spine. Exhale, releasing down. Good. One more time. Halfway lift. Lifting the gaze, spine is long. Exhale, releasing. Good. Let yourself hang out here. So if you want to widen your stance at all, feel free to do so. Maybe hands hold on to opposite elbow creases. Chin can tuck in. We get a nice full extension through the back body. One more breath. Carry out any movement you may like. Maybe you're holding still. And then we'll come back through to center. From here, an upward swan dive. So we sweep the arms out, lifting all the way up, palms connecting overhead, and we'll exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful. Opening the palms then to the front of the room, standing tall in Tadasana, feet hip distance apart. Let's drop our shoulders, maybe you close the eyes, and then drop your right ear toward your right shoulder. Let your head be heavy. If you'd like, the left fingertips can come toward your left shoulder. Maybe your right hand comes up toward your head. And we'll bring ourselves to neutral, arms can release. Switching sides, dropping your left ear toward your left shoulder. Those same options available, maybe the right hand coming toward your shoulder, left fingertips toward your head. From here, let's inhale, come up to center, arms release down. This time, just looking over your right shoulder. Exhaling, hold. Inhale to center. And exhale, looking over your left shoulder. One breath here. Nice. Bringing your head back through to center. Let's inhale, bringing the arms up overhead, and we'll interlace the fingers, clasping them behind our head. Now, bring a little bend to your knees again here so that we help ourselves engage through the front body. Hands are still behind your head. Let your elbows drop back as you start to lift up through the sternum and chest. So you want the sternum reaching toward the ceiling. Try to be long through the entire spine and still relax the shoulders down, the elbows down. Really nice opening here. Now, one more breath. Pull the belly belly in. Notice if you're starting to let the belly open up. We want to avoid any tension or collapsing in that low back. Good, on an inhale, let's reach up, keep the fingers clasped, palms up towards the ceiling. Feel the fingers open up. Again, lots of typing or texting, opening up, countering that bend. And let's exhale again, finding this clasp. Now the hands clasp behind the low back with the palms toward the ceiling. Draw the shoulders back. Maybe palms can press in towards one another. Again, bend the knees, lifting your gaze, and then finding that forward fold. So we melt over the legs. With the bend in the knees, we're truly hinging at the hips rather than the low back. Hands naturally will reach toward the ceiling or fall slightly in front of you. Good shoulder release, so let your head drop heavy, neck is long still. Breathing into the space that needs it most. So wherever you might be feeling the tension, send the breath there. Now we'll start to bring the hands down to our low back, releasing that clasp. Inhale, coming up to that flat back position, gazing forward. Exhale, dropping your hands down into the mat, stepping your feet back to that high plank, and we'll push off the toes here, shifting forward. You're welcome to drop the knees like we did earlier, or lower down, elbows tucking into the side body. Inhale, finding your cobra pose. If you're familiar with upward dog, you may like that as well at this point. Let's exhale, sending the hips up and back to that downward facing dog. Pushing through the arms, find your steadiness here. And then we're starting to sweep that right leg up towards the ceiling. Toes again point down to the ground first, feeling that hamstring on the left leg lengthen. With an inhale, try to lift that right leg even higher. And on our exhale, we'll open that hip up, bending the knee so the foot falls toward that glute. Gazing underneath the right armpit, toward the upper back wall, maybe behind you. And on your next inhale, let's straighten that leg, turning the toes down toward the mat, lifting onto the left toes, look to your hands. Now exhale as you draw that right knee in towards your chest, stepping between your hands. So you're always welcome to drop that back left knee to the mat if you'd like. From here, we're lifting up into our high crescent pose. Starting in this pose, all 5 toes root. You're lunging and bending into that front knee, so it's roughly over your front heel. Let's exhale, dropping our hands down to our hips and bend that back knee till it hovers over the mat. Now that same action that we did before, acting like you're dragging that left leg forward. Pull the belly in, feel the opening here. And then inhale, let's lift. On an exhale, hands to heart center, lunging. Inhale, lift. Reach through the back heel, hands lift, exhale down. Good, inhale, lift. This time, hands come to your back of the head and lift your gaze. A little bit of a challenge for the balance. Your next inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale as you drop that back left heel down to the mat, coming into your warrior 2. So shoulders turn to the side, arms extend out. Looking over that front right middle finger. Let's inhale, lifting high, straightening that front leg. And exhale, sinking in. Inhale, find that lift. Exhale in. Good. Last time. Inhale up. And exhale down. Now we're going to spin. That back left arm is going to come forward as you come onto the back toes. Right arm reaches to the ceiling. Always the option to drop that back knee if you'd like. Last breath here. Wonderful. Now you're taking that right foot and heel toeing to move it halfway down your mat. Coming into that supported side plank. You're on the outer edge of your left foot, reaching through the arms. Good. From here, let's start to drop that left hip down toward the mat and then slowly roll onto your glutes, bringing that right outer edge of your ankle toward your left thigh. So I'll turn to face you here and mirror you. So you're welcome to bring that foot on top of the thigh. If this feels a little too much, too intense, you're welcome to bring the bottom of your foot to the inside of that thigh as well. We're looking for our hips to be square to the front of our mat. Toes pull back on that left leg. We'll breathe in, sit up tall, and then exhale to fold forward. Now, today I'm sending my arms back, letting the fingertips just graze the floor, just to help me keep open through the upper chest and long through my spine. You're going to gaze down toward your leg. Breathing into your hips. Last breath here. Beautiful. So let me come back to the same position as you. From here, we're going to go back into our downward facing dog. So with that right leg, you're bringing it across, letting your right arm sweep across, hips lift up, and we step back into that down dog. If you would like a flow, a little vinyasa, you're welcome to lift onto the toes, shifting forward. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to rise. You're opening through the front body. And exhale, engage through the core, pulling the hips up and back, downward facing dog. From here, we sweep that left leg up, toes still pointing to the mat. Feel the emphasis on your right hamstring. Inhale, lift that left leg a little bit higher. And on the exhale, let the hip open up, bending into the knee. The foot falls toward your glute, looking under and slightly up of that under left shoulder or left armpit. Keep pushing through the arms. And your next inhale, we straighten that leg, turn your toes down to the mat. Lift onto the right toes as you look between your hands and exhale, stepping that left leg forward. Beautiful. Inhale, high crescent, 5 back toes root, heels lifted, lunge into that front knee. Now again, just for this first one, bring the hands down. Find that you can bend your knee until it hovers over the mat. That same action, tucking the tailbone, belly in. Feel that right side open. Good. From here, we'll inhale, lift the arms high, straighten that back leg. And as we exhale, we lunge hands to heart center. Inhale, reaching and lifting. Exhale, down. One more time. Inhale up. And exhale, down. Good. Inhale, we'll hold this one. So bring the back of the hand, or the hands to the back of your head. Interlace, lifting your gaze. Chest opens. Heart opens wide. Elbows may drop. Good. From here, let's inhale, reach the arms high. You're dropping now that right heel. Turning your shoulders to the side, gazing over the left fingertips. Warrior 2 of Virabhajasana B. Let's inhale, straighten the front leg, arms lift. Exhale, melting in. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. Perfect. Again, a bit of that windmill action. Right arm comes forward as you come onto the back toes. Left arm comes high. If that's challenging, always feel free to bring the hand to the knee instead. Find the balance maybe after you reach high. Good, last breath. Nicely done. Again, we're gonna heel toe that left foot halfway down our mat and roll onto the outer edge of that right foot, holding again in our side supported plank. Drishti, or your gaze up towards the thumb if it's comfortable. Rooting through that left hand or your right hand, but reaching up through active fingers. Good, we'll drop that hip down to the mat, rolling onto our glutes. And again, finding that outer edge of the ankle, maybe on top of that right thigh, or bringing the inside edge of the foot in towards that thigh. Use an inhale, let your sit bones root, but your spine grow long. And then exhale, hinging forward. Again, hands may slide behind you, fingertips just grazing the mat, letting your chest open. There's that expansion across the shoulder blades, across the front chest bone. Breathing into your fold. Wonderful. From here, let's start to sit up. Now this time we're going to send the legs off to the side, so we're in a wide leg seated position. Pulling both toes back towards us, let's try to avoid the common tendency of the toes rolling inwards. So actively try or intentionally try to keep them pointing up towards the ceiling. And from here, sending the chest, the upper body forward. Feel a bit of a stretch through the inner hips, the inner legs, and find your breath here to hold. Last breath. Good. Bringing yourself then right back up. Now finding that position again where you pull your legs forward, that left leg can come across, and we go back into that downward facing dog. Pedaling out the legs. Again, connect to your body. What is the body communicating to you now? One more inhale. And an exhale. Good. Start to look between your hands. Walk your feet forward. And now bring them to the outside of your hands, drawing the heels in and turning the toes slightly out. From here, dropping the hips down, coming into a low squat. Hands come to heart center. Elbows may gently press into the inner knees. Now, if this one's intense, feel free to always even put a pillow or something underneath to support you.
We'll try and let this be a passive stretch, sinking in, gazing toward the mat or the eyes closed. Last breath here. Wonderful. Let's inhale, sweeping the arms high as we lift, reaching up. Exhale, hands down alongside our body. Now we'll come into our balance pose, which will be a warrior 3. So on both feet, you're going to balance your weight. Shift over into your right leg and let that left leg come back behind you. Arms come alongside your body. And we'll start to tip the upper body forward as we lift that left leg back. Now, only going as far as you feel comfortable with. The farthest we'll go is to the point where we're looking down to the mat and we feel our body horizontal. Good. From here, let's reach the arms forward, lengthening our body, noticing it takes more back strength to find this pose. Good. On an exhale, we'll let our arms come down, pointing fingers toward the mat. And now that right arm, we're going to almost make a fist and feel like you're pulling up a weight. So you can create as much resistance here as you would like. Letting that arm go down and pulling up. So your arm might be shaking if you're creating a bigger resistance. Pulling up. Feel that engagement, that squeeze as you find that full lift, and then releasing down. Good. Reach both arms forward, and exhale, bringing yourself back up to that standing pose. Wonderful. Now, balance can always be a little bit of a challenge in this one. You're welcome to always put your arms forward against a wall, or that back foot against a wall as well. Okay? So we'll get ready for the other side, shifting our weight down evenly through both feet to begin. Sending that right leg behind you. Now tilting the upper body forward as you lift that leg up and back. Once you find the point where you feel steady and strong, feel that back body working, and inhale, send the arms forward, requiring a little bit more strength. On your exhale, we'll let our arms drop down, fingers reaching to the mat. This time our right arm makes that fist and we pull as if we're lifting up that heavy, heavy weight. Releasing down, pulling up, squeeze the elbow into your body and release down. One more time. Good. Keep that leg lifting and exhale to release. Inhale, find the length. Lifting the body up, dropping that leg down. Exhale, arms down alongside your body. Take an inhale, holding here. A strong mountain pose. Maybe you'd like to let that right ear drop down toward your right shoulder. Rolling your chin down towards your chest. And then the left ear over to the left shoulder. Rolling your chin down towards your chest. Let's inhale, reaching the arms high. And exhale, soft bend in the knees, folding over your legs. Inhale, lift halfway, looking up, long spine. Exhale, melt your hands down into the mat. Stepping back to your high plank. If you would like that flow, exhale to lower. Inhale to open up. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good. From here, we'll drop our knees down to the mat. finding ourselves in a child's pose. Now your knees can always widen, allowing you to sink perhaps closer and letting your forearms drop to the mat. Forehead can root into the floor as well. And if you would like, you might bend at the elbows, palms connected, and bring thumbs toward your upper back. Stay here for a few breaths, tuning in, listening to the heartbeat, feel the heat move through your body, checking in. Good. Allow your hands to reach forward. Let's inhale, come up through to center. Let your feet come off toward the right side and your hips down toward the left. On an inhale, reaching the arms up, and exhale over to the side. Inhale up through to center, and exhale, hand down. We'll switch sides. Bring the feet off to the other one. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale into that side bend. Good. Inhale, come up through to center. Rolling onto your glutes. We'll find that the hands come back behind us, pointing towards our feet. And start to lift your hips forward toward your glutes, and then up towards the ceiling. You're coming into a reverse tabletop, again requiring strength of the back body. You can look down your knees, or if it's comfortable for you, you can send your head back. Maybe a good stretch in the arms. Last inhale here. And exhale, dropping the hips down into your mat. Good. Take a moment to roll out the wrists. Yeah, roll out the shoulders. Nicely done. Come into a seated twist to close our practice, bringing your right hand across to your left knee, left hand behind you, sitting up tall through the spine, looking over your left shoulder. And bringing yourself back through to center, and we'll switch. Left arm sweeps around to the right knee, right fingertips pressing into the floor, lifting through the spine, gazing over the right shoulder. Coming back through then to center. Gently make your way down onto your back body. Letting your feet root into the mat if that feels nice for the low back, to bring that little sense of length there. If it feels okay in your body, extending your legs, turning palms up towards the ceiling, and staying here in Shavasana. Let this be a time where we are fully aware of the body and how we're feeling, the breath, but we're allowing ourselves to melt. With every exhale, it's that surrender of the body. We may start to notice the exhales lengthening and growing longer than the inhales. It's just a sign that the body is starting to relax. You can stay in your Shavasana as long as you would like. I definitely encourage taking a good solid 5-10 minutes there. But whenever you are ready, slowly begin to allow yourself to sit up. Maybe finding that comfortable seat, cross-leg pose, even legs extended, whatever feels best in your body. Taking that breath in and that releasing breath out. Take a moment to thank yourself for practicing, really taking the time to nourish your body and allow these good benefits to sink in, body, mind, spirit. I thank you for joining me in this practice, and I can't wait to practice with you again. From the light in me to the light in you, Namaste.